I remember when I first started using Blender and I was introduced to the node editor and how to construct a realistic render. There was tutorials using asking you how to download a bunch of images from online websites which cost thousands of freaking dollars. I'm just joking. That's an overreaction, but it was a lot of money. And I don't want to spend a single money on that. And in this tutorial, it's a quick way to show you how to make realistic renders of images just using a simple Photoshop and also just a simple image from Google. So select the object that you want, shaders mode, and this is the config that you want. I will explain this in great detail later, but there's a few things that you need to know. First, we need to have a normal image texture. So what the image will look like into the base color. So the texture will display as the surface. I usually like to manually adjust the roughness of it. I don't trust myself with that. We want a normal map, and we want a displacement map, which we're gonna do. So this is the final product we're gonna create, and let's just jump right into it. So this is where we left off last time. And look at now, if you look at this right now, it looks really plain. So let's go to shaders right now, and let's hit add materials. So this is the default stuff you get when you open shaders. So make sure you have the use nodes one turned on, and these are two things that you have when you open shaders. You have the materials output, and also you have the diffuse principal DSDF. I have no idea what that means, but it's here. It's basically a great a general overview of the things you can adjust. If you click and this is about time I want to do a quick introduction to rendering. So over here right now is a solid view mode. Just change that to a shading mode and you see the changes. So if you change the base color right here by clicking here and changing it to blue, you won't see a change, but if you change it to shaders mode, you do. So yeah, so this is a very nice, a quick Eevee renderer, so that's nice. So if you change the base color over here, you can change a bunch of stuff. You can change the subsurface value over here, and that just make it a bit more see-through. So when the sun, when the lights here, the sunlight hits over here, you can see it goes a bit through it. It's just like human skin or something like that. So it's like a lighter material. So it adds a bit of nice realism to it sometimes, for like cardboard and stuff like that, which is the thing I'm gonna use. You can make it more metallic, so it looks like a goddamn iron or something like that. It's very spherical. The roughness is the one I usually change a lot of. So if you change it down here, it'll make it look very smooth, like marble. It just look really plasticky. On default, it's about halfway here, so 0.5, and that's generalized where it looks like normal stuff. If we change it up here, it looks like very concrete-y, very clay-like, and there's no light reflection of it. Change it down, and that looks like marble, which fits. It's nice. So let's leave that at 0.5 for now. And these are settings I don't really want to focus on. IQR, if you do physics, you know that's a deformation of light waves. Transmission is the transparency of it. Though you won't actually see that right now on render mode right now. I'll explain the render modes in probably the next tutorial, but for now let's focus on adding texture here. So the material output is everything that you put in here, and for now we just want to add a texture of cardboard onto this mesh. So we just need to focus on the surface for now, and the displacement. The volume is actually what's inside of this mesh right now. If you go to delete the surface material to it, you see right in the middle of it how this thing's constructed, and that can be nice to create steam and also gases. But that's not what we're here to focus on. So now let's just make some cardboard textures. So as I mentioned before, we need some displacement. We need a displacement image. We need one that's for normal, and just a normal image for cardboard. So let's open Firefox. I'm gonna be using Firefox. Drag it over here, and let's search out cardboard texture. That's what we want to find. So this was the first one that came out, so it has to be good because Google is always trustworthy. So let's go and save image as. Nice and simple. I like to put it in my downloads folder. Let's do that. Cardboard image. Nice, and let's open up Photoshop. I using the 2019 version of it, but 2020 is out, and the same steps should apply. So let's drag Photoshop over here. And let's go to downloads. As now, let's go to quick access. That should probably do it. Drag the image over here to Photoshop to create our own file. Nice. So this is the image texture that we're going to be using. So let's quickly, that's before anything else, let's just quickly do that as well. So let's grab the image texture and drag this into Blender, right here, and just align the colors of the image texture with to the base color, and that should change. Look at that, and change into texture. So that's looking pretty fake right now. So it looks like just an image slap on top, but it has no depth, it has no distortion. So we want to change that. We want to add actual depth and actual color differences when the lighting hits it. So to that, we need to go to Photoshop. So go to Filter, 3D. Then you can create a bump map or just a normal map. A normal map works for me. I like normal maps better. So, and that will automatically generate the normal map for this. It will have this purple look to it, and that's completely normal. Just hit OK. And I want to save as this image. Go downloads, and let's name this normal. Normal. Nice. Let's Control Z. Let's add this one. So now we have this one over here, and let's jump this into Blender as well. Blender. And then let's hit Shift A to add vector and then a normal map. So if you want to add a transition, something, an image texture, and a noise texture, whatever you want to do it into a normal thing to use, just make sure you have a normal converter map to it. So color to color and then normal to normal. And you see right now is adding depth to it, artificial depth, which is a lot of game production uses. So that's looking pretty nice right now. So you can change that to non-color, and that will just add a bit more depth to it, and this is how it's supposed to be used. So non-color image texture into normal map, and that will add a bit of fake texture. But if you look from the side, there's no distortions or anything. It has no depth, it has no height. So to change the actual mesh itself, to have those heights, we want to add the displacement modifier to displace the mesh. So let's hit Shift A, vector, and then let's hit in a displacement converter right here. So we're going to put another image texture over here for the thing, for the displacement. So to do that, let's change this to a black and white image. And if you're familiar with masking within Photoshop, you would know for this function, black equals to hide and white equals to show. In the displacement function, white is actually the parts where the mesh is extruded upwards, and the black parts are the ones that extruded downwards. So adjustments, we want to turn it into black and white image. The default works fine. Let's go up here, and now we want to clearly define the bumps. Adjustments, and then levels. So to do this, you can do this with a color ramp within Blender as well. Make sure you're dragging across here. Make sure you have added high contrast within the color. So now to have a very clear contrast. Though maybe for normal cardboard, this may be too much for the height. So let's keep it around this one, so it looks like a poor cardboard that you can usually find in a classroom. So my goal is to add more like a rookie feel to it, to add the imperfections. So let's make this one displacement. There you go, displacement. Now we have displacement one over here. Let's drag it into Blender over here. And you want to so as I said before, we want to add displacement, and we want this one, we want the white parts of the image to define the height and the black one as well. So let's put this at height, and then drag this, the displacement part over here to displacement. As you see right now, it's not doing anything to the mesh, because right now we're within, let's go to render mode right now, and within, let's go to camera, let's go to render. If you look at the render engine we're using right now, is Eevee, and this is real-time engine. This is a real-time rendering engine. This is really good for game engines, which needs to be easy to render and stuff like that. But this is not responsible for realism, so it's not showing the displacement or anything, or noise is allowing to. So this is like a quick render very slightly non-realistic, but it's real time. Cycles, on the other hand, is real. It's far more realistic and stuff like that. So if you go to materials here, and you go to settings, and this, if you look at displacement, and how displacement controls right now is only by bump only. You want to change that to displacement and bump, and you can see the actual deformation within the actual mesh. So yeah, we need to have the render set to cycles, which is more realistic for this to work. If you set this to other engine, if you go to settings, there won't be a settings over here to, that you can speak of. So let's decrease the scale to about 0.1, and that just adds a bit of depth and height to it. So right now, this is way too big for my own liking. The image texture is way too big, it's looking distorted, and also the image texture is not that high quality or refined, so it's so freaking obvious to do. So let's go to UV editing, and this is where we control our stuff. So if you look at stuff right now, these are all the selected faces, and that's the image that we selected. So let's hit A to select all of it, and what you usually like to do is hit U, and then Smart UV Project, and that will just do everything for you and change everything. So let's change this to, let's hit Z, and let's change it to render, and that's how you quickly change between the modes. I want to remain faces, I want to see the thing clearly. So let's just use this one for example then. So right now, you can see all the parts, all the faces broken apart into these small chunky areas. So let's just scale this one upwards, and you can see the details becoming smaller. Let's scale it up again, hit S and scale. And then right now, everything's looking fine and dandy. Maybe it's still a bit too small. And let's try to rotate a bit with R. Yeah, I think this looks a lot better. Have a look at it again. Maybe still a bit too big. Hit S. Make sure your mouse is in tab for the function to work. Okay, a bit more, and that should look alright. So let's go to shadings, and let's just decrease the amount of scale up to 3 to add a bit more imperfections to the mesh, so it looks like a high school project that you just like sort of meshed up together and looks freaking weird as hell, but it has a nice handmade feel to it. I want to say it still doesn't look really nice made. It's not factorized, so it adds a bit of realism to it, and I really like it. Increasing the scale of the displacement to 0.3 or something like that will actually add a bit more realism to it. For me though, let's just adjust this a bit, the mid level. The mid level is like the height. This controls the amount of height it goes to above, sort of bit. So this is very nice. So this is a simple layout from the image texture into the base color, into the surface. The normals, the false details are controlled by a false, by normal created within Photoshop. Displacement is by a black and white image. And then let's change the color of the cardboard. And there we go. And that's the one I will go with for now. Actually looks a bit too gray. Let's do that quickly. There you go. That looks fine for now. So yeah, this is our final result. So yeah, if you join me in the next video, I will show you how to do realistic renders, introduction to the different renders there are, the different render engines, and just how to create appealing images with Filmic Blender to make your renders more realistic. So, see you then.